everything we value, everything our founding fathers stood for is hanging in the balance. And we've discussed, wars against terrorism. There is a new terrorism taking place in America. And it is not a virus that came from God's green earth. It is the people that are terrorizing us with fear over a fake reality. And I want to make it clear, because I know there's a lot of discussion about what we'll do to rise up and who will rise up against. But I would say most of us in this audience are funding this terrorist organization.
Yeah.
It's the pharmaceutical industry and the media.
Yes.
If you are paying a cable bill right now to watch your television, you are now funding an organization that is masking you, locking you down, telling you you have no rights, making you hate one another, making you think you have to go to fight each other.
Yes.
That is the terrorism that is taking over this country. That is CNN, that is MSNBC, that is CBS, that is ABC. If you are watching their programs, I don't care if it seems really entertaining. If you're seeing a pharmaceutical ad in between during your commercials, you are funding terrorism against the freedom of America. They are killing American citizens as we speak. They have murdered nearly 120,000 people. If we're to take their own numbers for it, let me explain what is taking place. Because I have been investigating COVID-19. First of all, no one can define what it is. No one knows where it came from. None of the studies that would actually truly isolate a virus and how it was created was ever done. This thing is a mystery. And you know it's a mystery when you watch every single doctor and scientist on television changing their tune week by week by week. Not once have they given you a truth that lasted longer than 2 weeks. And yet you tune in, we listen to them, we let them take away our rights. Let me ask you this, Gavin Newsom, as you're releasing people from prison, if masks work, why are you putting a mask on your prisoners and keeping them inside of jails? None of this makes any sense unless you've been looking at it as long as I have. For 4 years, my nonprofit, the Informed Consent Action Network, has been investigating the pharmaceutical industry, specifically how they're poisoning us, how they're not doing proper safety studies on any of the vaccines we've injected into our children. And our children, the sickest generation we have ever seen in this country, and it's the sickest generation of children in the industrialized world. We have more babies die on the first day of life in America than every other industrialized nation combined. We have more babies die in the first year of life than the 20 other richest nations in the world. We had more women die while pregnant than the 20 other richest nations in the world. It is now reported you are 70% more likely to die before reaching the age of 18 if you grow up in America than if you've grown up in the 20 other richest nations in the world. Yet you still hold that doctor up on a pinnacle. You still celebrate their degree. No, and I'm not anti-doctor. I'm anti-medical establishment. I'm anti the pharma takeover of the world. And that is what I've been warning for years on stages all around the world. Pharma is going to attempt a coup of the world. And it's happening right before your eyes. That is what is going on. Imagine what would have happened in America had no one told you COVID-19 was deadly. Nothing would have happened. Nothing would have changed. We have killed people with a lie that created panic. Look at New York, it's a perfect example. Had we not said COVID-19 was deadly, how would it have been that different? Well, first of all, you wouldn't have shut down half of your hospital staff. You wouldn't have furloughed your nurses and your doctors and then said we don't have enough beds. You see what they're doing, because they made this not a common cold, which it is, they've made it deadly. Now we have to be worried about losing beds. Oh, and by the way, we can't put you in any of the other beds we normally would have given you if you had the flu or you had a cold. Now you can only be allowed in the ICU. So we forced this cold into the smallest part of our hospitals and shut everything else down. And then what did we do? Because we said it was deadly. Or, by the way, WHO and these international terrorist organizations that are taking over the United States of America through people like Bill Gates and, yes, Tony Fauci. But because the virus was deadly, more deadly than your usual coronavirus, then we didn't give you oxygen when you came to the hospital. We didn't give you anything. We were so afraid that oxygen would aerosolize this deadly virus that we denied you oxygen until you crashed. And then when you crashed, we put you on a ventilator. Knowing that 9 out of 10 people were being murdered by every ventilator they were going on.
Yes.
And now we know it was the wrong treatment, even though we watched Andrew Cuomo say, I need more ventilators, we need more ventilators. We will look back in history and know that he should have said, I need more guillotines, I need more guillotines, because all they did was murder the population of New York with those ventilators. But it gets worse, because it's deadly. Because we shut down half of our hospital, because we're only using our ICU beds, we're sending nurses and doctors home, because we don't have enough room. Once we've killed you with a ventilator, we put you all on do not resuscitate orders. We're not going to bring you back to life the way we know how, because we need your bed. Oh, guess what? If you're over the age of 65 and you have a comorbid issue, which is the only group truly at risk in this entire thing, we can't have you in the hospital because you're taking up a bed. So we sent you into the nursing homes in the one place we should have protected in the United States of America. We lit a match in the driest field COVID-19, if it even exists, could touch. And we destroyed the elderly population around the world. And while we were shut down, while we shut down half of our hospitals, nobody with diabetes could get to a doctor. Nobody with actual heart disease could get there. Heart attacks in homes, people dying everywhere. And then maybe, perhaps the greatest proof that the mainstream media is against you, they are terrorizing your lives, has been their attack on the one treatment around the world we know works, hydroxychloroquine.
Yes.
Now I know I'm waxing medical and all like, who is this guy? This is the center of the whole issue. This is what we're up against. Science lies.